The facts matter.
Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is March 1st, 2021. And today, in Crazy Comments, our first specimen is Inky and Friends. Inky says, every single person is in bondage to the banks for the debt incurred on the money borrowed from the feds. That is a fact. You proved nothing, really. And this comment came in on a video I did more than 2 years ago called Proof Your Birth Certificate is Not a Bond, and where I show with evidence and sourced verifiable links proof that your birth certificate is not a bond. So I say to Inky and his friends that what I proved was that your birth certificate is not a bond. Anyway, moving on. Inky and his friends were not done there. His next statement was on the exact same video and says, your name is in capital letters for a reason. You are made into a corporation at birth. Now, Inky, that's actually complete bullshit, and you should tell your friends that too. The truth is that there are several videos on this channel that actually debunk that very statement that you made. But this video that you're making comments on is proof that your birth certificate is not a bond. Oh, by the way, your birth certificate is just a certificate of birth. It's just showing that you're a person alive in the United States. It's not a bond, and it doesn't make you into a corporation, and the red letters, they're just a serial number. Stacy, Pray for the Lost, is extremely irritated and huffy. And it's all about this video I did called The New Sovsit's Get Out of Wearing a Mask Free card. And yes, that card is funny. It is also not any kind of an authority on anything, and will do absolutely nothing for you if you show it in a place where a mask is mandated. But Stacy's really upset with me about this video. She says, do research. Read the side of the M95 mask. Some people can't wear a mask. It does nothing. Why are people still getting the flu? So you make fun of people who are disabled? Shame on you. FYI, they weaponize the flu. COVID equals control, oppress, victimize, isolate, divide. It's a program, not a virus. Certificate of Vaccination ID. Heavenly Father made us to breathe oxygen, not carbon dioxide. Masks don't keep viruses away. We need to stop wearing masks. They don't work. They make you more sick. God made us to breathe oxygen, not carbon dioxide. Governors and judges can't make laws. We the people have the power. They violate the American Disability Act. Stacy, you're a very confused woman, and I am not qualified to attempt to try to uncrazy you. So run along, Stacy, and have a nice day. It doesn't get any better, guys. Here we go. James McDaniel. Just when I thought I was safe, and I made a video that was so incredibly obvious in terms of debunking. The video that I just made Friday about the government creating fake snow and how funny that conspiracy was of the few people in Texas that did not realize the chemical reaction in terms of why snow doesn't melt with a lighter. James got rather irritated with me. He says, "This video is an obvious propaganda piece to calm the weather modification hysteria. Snow repeatedly has been sent to labs to have it analyzed for chemicals. Results have repeatedly shown up, and high levels of aluminum and other metals used in chemical ice nucleation has used in weather modification and many other chemicals of unknown origin. There is conjecture. That is why snow in a hot skillet will leave a significant amount of brown goo that's not from butane. See geoengineeringwatch.org or Mike Morales on YouTube. They show the satellite evidence of chemical trails being sprayed ahead of and on top of the polar vortex over Texas." I'm not going to get into this too awful much, but I do want to say that brown goo that you talk about, well, if you go outside and you get a snowball and you put it in a cup and you let it, a clear cup, a clear glass, and you let it melt, you're going to find that about 30% of it is dirt. That could potentially be the brown goo you're talking about. And yes, there are chemicals in the air. It's not necessarily from spraying, however, although it could potentially be. I'm not a person who actually has that information specifically in front of me. Chances are, though, it's from things like smog and stuff like that. And yeah, I would imagine that there is a significant amount of chemicals that are actually being captured on the way down. But I have to say, really, you're going to cite geoengineeringwatch.org? I mean, we need something a little more sourced than that. It's always funny to me how, for example, and I'm certainly not saying that James McDaniel is any kind of sob-sid or more or anything like that, but have you guys ever noticed how much they go back to their original sob-sit statements? Like they will send you to a sob-sit site in a second like it's gospel. I mean, they act like those sites that are made up by the very people who have convinced them of these rabbit holes and conspiracies to be true. They'll go back to that site like it's freaking National Geographic. Anyway, James, calm down. I mean, sublimation is an obvious thing. It doesn't require a vacuum. It happens regardless with compacted snow. It just is what it is. It's been proven scientifically for a very long time. This particular video did not call for you to have a panic attack. It just didn't. I'm sad to announce that there was another party who actually had put out a comment that I wanted very badly in this video. It was on the same exact video for the government fake snow that I had done, where I was being berated and told that I needed to apologize to the woman who made the video with the hairdryer because I was completely wrong, and the chemical reaction I was describing does not happen anywhere except for under a vacuum, and they knew what they were talking about because they were the professor of the physics department at a college. I'm sorry, but if you're a professor at a physics of the physics department at a somewhat prestigious college or university as you claimed, and you don't know the very basics of 6th grade chemistry, we have a huge, huge problem. Just for fun, I thought I'd go over here and visit Dane Wingington's site, Geoengineering. watch.org. I wanted to make sure that we did that after that last comment. Looks like you've got a great number of visitors and you've been doing this for a very long time. There's a whole bunch of information on here, but here's what I find really interesting. The massive amount of scientific evidence of climate change causing real severe problems is totally denied in most cases when dealing with people that are looking at things like chemtrails, looking at things like HAARP. They totally deny the science behind climate change that is very obvious if looked in the right spots and seriously investigated, which I encourage all of you to do. But yet, they believe all kinds of things that are off balance and really have very little evidence. So, for example, weather weapons in order to start fires, weather weapons in order to cause blizzards, weather weapons in order to minimize the population or move people out of specific areas. It's right up Deborah Tavares's aisle. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will be coming with another video that has some very interesting information on Miss Pauline Ritchie next. I hope everybody takes care, and I'll talk to you soon.